going to quickly cut across to Majid Memon, who's a TMC Neta now. Majid, electoral bonds, a violation of voters' rights. A big, big verdict, unanimous one coming in from the Supreme Court, right 2 months ahead of Lok Sabha elections. How would you view this?
Well, I think this is a very expected move by the court. There have been lots of concealment by the government, the ruling party, in collecting funds in the name of electoral bonds. And we have been saying from quite a long time that, well, this needs to be transparent. And therefore, today, this judgment is welcome. In fact, the nepotism, corruption, everything could be exposed once there is accountability with regard to receipt of funds in the name of electoral bond. You sell electoral bond, Supreme Court has rightly, literally reprimanded the government that this must stop, number one. And number two, that even for the past several years now, till Modi rule has started this electoral bond business, everything is to be accounted for. The Election Commission must be given the accounts of collection of every rupee in the name of electoral bond, because by this means the establishment has tried to take advantage politically with resorting to the nepotism, corruption, and all kinds of things which are undesirable. And I'm sure that this is going to have an impact now that the BJP will have to face the mandate of the people in ensuring Lok Sabha election before they call for votes. They would be standing exposed with regard to corruption, about which the Prime Minister has been untiringly shouting that we are fighting corruption. Everything would be exposed now in a matter of some time.
When you say it will be exposed, what are the kind of issues that were raised by the petitioners in court? You may not know that entirely, but what are your reservations over electoral bonds? It's not like as if the Congress, as a party, the Congress party has also received money through electoral bonds. May not be to match up to what BJP has received, 1,300 crores in 2022-23 the BJP has received. The Congress has received also 170 crores.
No, that's all I agree. 170 in comparison to the BJP amount is just 1/10 or something of that sort. See, whether it is Congress or any other political
That's a whole
party,
different question. Whether they've got less or more, they've still received money through electoral bonds. Sir. All right, we seem to have lost his connection. I'm going to cut across to Rajdeep Sardesai, India Today's consulting editor, for more on that. Rajdeep, a massive verdict coming in right 2 months ahead of Lok Sabha elections. Electoral bonds is illegal. More or less, that's what the Supreme Court has dubbed it as, that this is a violation, a fundamental violation of voters' rights.
Yes, and it's a huge setback in that sense to the government, and indeed a major boost for the opposition ahead of the Lok Sabha elections. The fact is that the opposition has for a long time been raising the issue of electoral bonds, claiming that they are opaque and fundamentally therefore work in favor of the government, which is the only body which can have access to the identity of those who are providing these political contributions. And this can lead, as the Supreme Court itself has said in its order today, to quid pro quos unknown to the voting public, and therefore is a violation of the rights of the public.
Okay.
It is also, Nabila, you must appreciate that a majority of the electoral bond funds have gone to the ruling party.
Right. Ruling or opposition, both parties that way have benefited. But Rajdeep, stay with us. We have Karti Chidambaram joining us on the phone line. Karti, your take on electoral bonds being deemed a violation of fundamental rights of voters, the Supreme Court's unanimous decision. How would you receive this?
I think it's a welcome decision, a tad too late, but still welcome. I wish that whatever the Supreme Court is propounding would be implemented well before this election in terms of full disclosure. If they're asking the money to be refunded, whatever the Supreme Court is ruling, I hope it's all going to get implemented well before the elections, which are going to come about in a month or so.
what happens, Karti? Congress has made about 170 crores through electoral bonds in 2022-23. So even your party has benefited in a certain way?
Every political party would have received electoral bonds. But we have been consistently saying that this anonymous system must end. This is definitely not good for democracy where you have anonymous donors to political parties, and it leads to crony capitalism. I mean, while the Congress party might have received electoral bonds, I'm sure that we will be happy to abide by the Supreme Court decision. But it's going to bite the crony capitalist system the BJP has built so assiduously over the last 10 years. That's going to bite it the most.